Hello, friends. How's everybody doing? What is today? Today is Tuesday. I couldn't come on yesterday because we had Bristol. Had to think there for a minute what day it was. I'm a little confused. What can I say? Between doctor's appointments and watching Bristol, my days are all mixed up. We had an appointment today for a liver scan, and I don't know if I'm coming or going. I've already been there, so excuse me. I'm a little crazy in the head, or should I say a little bit more crazy than I usually am. Let me find us on my iPad. I've got my phone turned around so you guys can see the words and everything. So hopefully my iPad will show me comments. Sometimes comments don't come up, so if you are here, if you are saying hi, let me know you are here. Hashtag replay so that I can give you a shout out, and hearts, thumbs up, sprinkle it out, spread the whimsy out into the neighborhood. All that is greatly appreciated. For some reason or another, sometimes it doesn't get pushed out. Notifications aren't working the way they're supposed to work, and I don't know. It's kind of hit and miss. So if you're here on the replay, please hashtag replay. I would like to say hey to you and know that you've been here and that you watched, and hopefully that you learned something. We are gonna, let me go ahead and turn you down so you can see better, hopefully. We are gonna use these cute little birds. They came white, just like this little guy did. And I painted this one already so that we could get heads up on this. They come packaged like this. They are from Couture. I am not a Couture dealer or anything. I bought this at the retreat from Leah Hall, and she is her company is Bee and Crown. So Bee and Crown from Leah, right there. Check her out. She is your representative for Couture, but I was going to use this for stencils and make a beautiful little Easter craft out of it. Again, the big bird looked just like the little bird. I already painted it, and I painted, and I don't know if it shows up. I did not paint the wings as dark as the bird is, and the color that I used is Dixie Belle Vintage Duck. And the little bird we are going to do in Magnolia first, and we're going to put the pattern on in the vintage duck on the little bird, and vice versa on the big bird. So that's what we are going to do right now. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate you, and I am just using a regular little old brush. I did sand these a little bit, not much, just to get a little bit of, let me put this out of the way, a little bit of smooth surface. That's what I'm trying to say, a smooth surface. You are not going to see much of a difference in the color. You can leave it just like it is. You don't have to paint it, but I wanted to paint it up a little bit and get a little bit of a different look. So I am going to paint it because we are going to add some fabric. We're going to use a bedspring, and we're going to create just the cutest little spring decor. And it won't take long to get this little guy painted up. I did put 2 coats on with the blue, the vintage Dug Egg. I always call it Dug Egg Blue, but it is vintage Dug Egg. That is the name. Add a little something in there. Now got that out of the way. And I did paint all the sides as well. And we're going to do the same thing on this little guy. And for those of you that are new to me, I always will come at 6:30 in the evening. And we'll go ahead and dry that a little bit. Normally I try to come on Mondays and Thursdays, but due to doctor's appointments and watching our granddaughter, I sometimes can't do that because depends on what time our son comes home and what time we get home from the doctor's appointments. So I have to change dates, but it will always be at 6:30 in the evening unless I feel like coming on during the day sometime. That'll be spontaneous. So if you don't know if I'm on, if you didn't get a notification, like they haven't been sent out like they're supposed to, then just check and see around 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central if I just happen to be on. And like I said, I am painting the sides as well because I want to make sure that this little guy is covered on head, because there is a little bit of a difference. You can see right there a little bit of color difference. So I want to make sure we get everything done. And they sit by themselves really good. Their tail supports them, so that's why I love it. He is gonna sit in the nest. I'm sure you guys have figured out by now that we're gonna add a little nest into the spring. And I will show you here in just a moment. I did get me a couple of nests from Hobby Lobby, but I am not going to use them tonight. I had a grapevine wreath that was too big, that wouldn't fit. So I took it completely apart and made it smaller. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. So that's what I am using. I just took a regular grapevine wreath, took it apart, and basically just reassembled it in a smaller circle. All right, let's give this a second coat. These are very easy to paint. And I have never used Dixie Belle. I love it. It goes on really easy, has good coverage. I was introduced to Dixie Belle at the retreat and I fell in love with it. So you're going to see me use a couple of colors. I don't have many. But I enjoy using it. Most of them are small jars, 8-ounce jars. I've got one big one of the Dixie Belle because I couldn't find the small one. So I bought the big one because I wanted that color. That's the color my birds are. And I was going to do the little bird the same color as the big bird, the mama bird, but I decided that it might be okay if I... Hey, Carlene, thank you for the stars. Hey, Danette, how are you? Happy Tuesday from Alabama. You're not too far away. I'm in North Carolina. Welcome, welcome to, I call us the Whimsy Bunch. I appreciate you hopping on. If you are not a follower, I invite you to follow. I do all kinds of different creative things. I work mainly with essential stencil. All right, our little Tweety bird is done. And I'm just going to go lightly. I know the wings, you see that little bit of brown coming through. I'm just going to lightly go over these, because they will have a different color if I leave them, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to make them match. We'll go matchy-matchy today. So I appreciate you hopping on. And all the ladies on here, can let you know what I create, what this group is about. We are definitely faith-filled. We do pray for one another and encourage one another. So if that is something that you are interested in, then this group is for you. I like praising the Lord and giving him thanks for what he has done for us. All right, that is done. We're going to get the stencil out and I'll show you the stencil. And I am an ambassador with Essential Stencil. If you have any questions about Essential Stencil, ask them in the comments. Send me a message. I am going to wipe my hands off real quick. Just put my hand on the hot glue gun. That wasn't good. If you have any questions about Essential Stencil, let me know. They go live Monday through Friday on their page. There is an ambassador that showcases their stencil that have just come out, or the new stencil, that's the Stencil of the Month Club, and they come on every night at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So after I get done, hop over there and check them out. I'm going to put our little bird over to the side. And here you can see the slight color difference between the wing and the bird. And I am going to use this Magnolia from Dixie Belle for the pattern on here. And the pattern is out of the spring collection. It's called Dainty Flower. And I have it linked in the comments. It came with the big one, the 12 by 16, but it also came with a small pattern. And I put an F on here so I knew which one was the front side of the stencil and which one was the back side of the stencil. And all I'm going to do now, I know my wing is going to be somewhere in here, so I'm not too concerned with what I get in the middle. I would rather have enough on the other parts of the bird. Can you guys see that? Do I need to turn you down a little bit more maybe? Let me know if you guys can see that good. Because our wing is going to be about right here, maybe somewhere in here. So I think that'll look good. And the two sides are not going to be the same. They're going to look different. I cannot tape it, so I'm just going to hold onto it really good. Still tweaking it a little bit. I am going to use one of the dome brushes from Essential Stencil. And I am just going to go into this little puddle of paint. I put way too much paint on here. I'm just going to go on my coffee filter and swirl it around and load it up in the brush. Now it looks like there isn't much paint on here, but trust me, these brushes, I can tell there is still too much, so I'm going to offload the sides. These brushes, very, very light pressure. You do not need much pressure on here. And if you want this more to be a realistic looking bird, like I said, this is going to be more of a whimsical bird. If you want this to be more realistic looking, then by all means, do yours as a realistic looking bird. Yeah, that's perfect. When you feel like you don't have much paint left in your brush, I still got paint left in here. I'll just keep swirling it right or left, because I want to make sure I got all the little edges. I just dip it back in. Let me move my plate over. Put your brush down and pick your finger up so you will not stick to it. And I'm just going to push it back into my brush. And you see the brush looks like it is almost dry. Put my finger on here to hold my stencil. And these little guys are going to be so cute. I like this little whimsical touch with them. Since I don't know where exactly the wing is going to be, I am just going to go over all of it. That way I will not miss a place. And I will most likely distress this a little bit with my brown wax. The Waverly wax. It'll seal it and it'll also distress it. And I have absolutely no pressure on it. I am very, very lightly, and I'm holding the stencil with my thumb down here because the stencil is overlapping, so it is bending a little bit. And I'm just holding the stencil. Switching sides, reloading my brush, and I'm not putting much paint on there at all. Not much at all. Putting my finger down for stability to hold the stencil. And the reason why I always put my other hand on my paintbrush down, because your fingers get sticky from paint. And even if you have it taped, you can lift your stencil up. And we don't want a misaligned stencil, so that is always a good practice to just hold it down with your other hand while you lift the one hand up. Yep, we got to get that little one down there. We have, nope, we just have this one. I'm going to take a peek to see if I want to do a second coat, if I want to leave it like that. I think I am going to do a second coat on here to make it just a little bit brighter, even though I said I am going to distress this. I just want part of these petals to be a little bit brighter. Not all of them. Like I said, I like that whimsical, distressed look. I'm blotting it off on my paper towel. Paper towel. Not my paper towel, on my coffee filter. And I will show you here in a moment that some of them are more bright and vibrant, and others are a little bit more about said laid back. Muted maybe is the word that I'm looking for. And again, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your thumbs up, your hearts, the stars. You guys are amazing. And please sprinkle it out. Does that not look cute? Oh, whimsical. I'm just going to hit it with the heat real quick. You can see good. Hey, Sherry, my friends. Appreciate you guys being on. sharing your Tuesday with me. Make sure you check the back of your stencil that there is no paint on here, because if there is, it will transfer. This side is not going to be aligned the same as the other side, and it is okay. They don't have to be the same. Like I said, the wing is going to be in here. And if we want to add some more flowers in, we can do that after we place the wing. Very light pressure. I love this little pattern. You can do so much with it. You can do the leaves in green and the flowers in colors. The dome brushes from Essential Stencil are perfect for that. They would do really, really well for that application because they come in so many sizes that you can find one that will be perfect to do all those little details. And don't forget to check and see what all has been restocked and get the things that you want, because especially the patriotics, what has been restocked, well, that is your next Mother's Day. Next season coming up, Father's Day. So if there was something that you were looking for, or if you like patterns, you use a lot of patterns for backgrounds and you've missed out on some patterns, check out what has been restocked. There has been over 50 stencils restocked. And they are at a discounted price right now. Plus, you can use my code WK21 and save yourself a little bit more money. I always like savings. It's funny now that I'm older. Just had a birthday, turned 62. Not that that is old. But now when we go to restaurants, sometimes they automatically give us a senior discount. And I'm like, now they can look at us and tell we're seniors. I forgot that little petal right there. Did you see that? You were probably telling me you forgot a petal. So, have you guys been creating and crafting? Have you been out in the yard getting your seeds ready? What have you been doing? What have you been doing? And do you guys like the rustic vibe? Are you excited about the patriotic creations, crafting vibe? Oh, that's cute. Let me draw that real quick. I'm not going to do anything around the edges. I might dry brush it a little bit. That turned out really cute. There's one side and there's the other side. I am not doing anything to the wings. I'm going to leave the wings because we're going to add our wings on here like so. So I'm going to leave them. I might actually edge them out a little bit in white. just to make them stand out a little bit. Yeah, that'll look good. Use what little bit of paint is left on here. Might need to reload a little bit. See how I outlined the wing a little bit? Now watch me done it on the wrong side. Nope, we're good. All right, let's see. We're gonna do the opposite color on the little bird. Gonna use the duck egg on that one. Now we're still using the same pattern. I just want to see how I want to put this on there. Just have to maneuver it around a little bit. Really want. I'm going to do it like that because the little, look, I have the wing backwards. The little wing's going to be like right here somewhere. All right, now we're going to go into that duck egg blue, and I'm using the same brush. I have not changed it. And again, this is Dixie Belle paint. And it is chalk paint, and the birds came from Couture. From Bee and Crown is Leah Hall. So if you're in need of a Couture person and so much more, she is really crafty and creative. And check her page out. I always love to tell you about other creators and creatives. That's what I love about the community. Everybody just always encourages each other. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. I love flowers. My daughter is doing the gardening now. She starts with seeds, and she has a whole bunch of seeds ready already, and she's getting ready. She's also planting for the, we've got chickens and ducks, so she's also planting for them to have something to snack on. So it's not just for us, it's for them. Trying to see how I want to put this one on. think I'm going to do it like this. Like I said, no two sides will be the same. They will look different. And that is okay. Just offload this again. Make sure you got it laying the right way. Mark your stencils. I just use a micron marker and put a F in there for front, so I would know which way the stencil lays. If you are not sure, look at your packaging and your stencil, and then you can figure out which way that stencil was cut, because there is a difference in it. And you can turn these around, but you're better using it the way it was cut. You have less bleed, and it also makes it easier to clean. But I do reverse my stencils sometimes. And I put very little paint on my brush when I go dip into the paint. And I swirl to the right and to the left. I know you can't see that well, but I do. And again, if the wing covers too much, we can always add more to it. We can come back and add a little bit more flower up here on his head. And I'll do the same thing. I'll outline this one in blue. Just to give it that little distinction that this is the wing. Just very lightly. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good. Got to get a little bit more paint. That one got a little bit more blue on there, so I'm just going to make this a little bit more blue too. It is our little bird, so we can do how we want to, right? And we can always just dress them a little bit more. Okay, we do need this one more time. All right, let me ask you. We have these little squares to put our wings on with, but I am going to use a little dot of hot glue and my Liquitex to do the wings. So I'm going to do that real quick. That way we can adhere our wings, and I am going to use a little, just a little cruddy little brush. Let's see, he's going to sit like this. I'm going to put the wing like that. No, I'm not put the wing like this. I'll have to decide on how I want to do my wing on here. This is meant to extend paint, but I like to use it as a glue. This wing is going to go like that. Let that sit for a moment. Let's do the mama bird. And the mama bird, I'm going to let her sit this way. I think on the mama bird. All right, should we do the wing like this or should we do the wing down like that? Down or up? And mama bird sits like this. So she'll be sitting like that. So do we want to do the wing like this? Up over the edge? Towards the back tail? What do you guys think? I think I like it like this. I think I'm going to put the wing on like that. And then we're going to stencil a word on our little piece of fabric that's going to hang down. All right, let that sit for a minute. See if I can get the other side on here just right. I said my two wings are not going to look the same. I already know that. I'm going to try to put them as close to the same as I can. That is a good thing. It does not dry right away. So you have a little bit of leeway in putting it on. I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to set him over to the side so he can dry. Let's do mama bird. It does not take long for this to dry and be secure. By the time we got all the other things assembled, this should be dry. My eyes are deceiving me. It is a little bit tricky to do this. I keep looking at it, and the more I look at it, the more I think I need to move it around. That's so funny. This is the way it's going to stay. I think it looks pretty good. Alright, put our little bird up, let him dry. Now you guys going to have to help me. This is going to be our little sign to add onto our spring once we have everything assembled. And do we want to put grow or seeds on here? I'm going to do seeds, or do we want to add grow? So you guys let me know which one you want on here. While you guys think whether we want to do grow or seeds, we'll go to the next step, and I'm going to close this back up for just a moment. That is going to go on in blue, in this duck egg blue. And we will put our, this is just an ordinary bed spring. This is the redone wreath that I made. And yes, it has a hole in the middle, but it is going to sit on the spring up here. I'm going to see which way I want to make it. And I've got wire here that I am going to wrap around the spring to sit it on here. And then our little bird is going to sit on top of there. All right, let me get this wire on here. Get a little tool here. And that way I don't have to glue the nest. We can literally just wire it on. should have done that one to the top. I'll come back through and wire that to the top right here. Like I said, the bird is going to be glued on, so the bird will secure this more. I am running it through the spring and then back through the nest or the grapevine. Yep, it's holding. That's what we have so far. And I purposefully set it this way so it'll be a little bit higher on the back side than the front side. Seeds. I was thinking the same thing. The only reason why I thought grow is for spring. Everything is renewing and growing. And that came out of the word pack from Essential Stencil, and it has bloom, blossom, flourish, awaken, meadow, grow, gentle, renew, nature, fresh, seeds, nurture, sprout, rooted, plant, petals, garden, wildflower, flowers, and thrive. That is the 20 pack. And I linked both of those stencils in the comments above. For the middle right here, I'm going to add a little bit of that sisal in there, and I'm going to split this in half. And when we were taught how to make this in the Creative Revival, we had a little story that went with it, and I so enjoyed that story about the spring. You need a good foundation to build on, and I just like that so much, that you have to have a foundation, that the Lord is your foundation. Jesus is your cornerstone, and I just looped it a little bit, and I'm going to do the opposite. And I'm just going to weave it in a little bit right here. I'm not put, no, I don't like that loop. I'm going to take that loop back out. I don't like it. I don't like it looped. I'm just going to loop it in here the way it is. I have to turn it for just a second because there's a certain way I want it to lay. I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. I'm just going to stick that on there. I'll put a little bit of glue on here. Just to hold that in place just a little, because that is a little bit wiry. And we can snip this off a little bit. Another thing that you see in nests is threads and different things woven in that the birds pick up outside. And it brings security and warmth, and it helps your nest be more stable. So I am going to put a little bit of this thread in here, just to give that nest a little bit more of an authentic look. Because you know they pick up all kinds of things outside, and these threads came from the fabric. So we're going to weave some of these threads in here. I'm going to let some hang out, because that's how nests grow. They are built. They don't grow. They are built by the birds. They have threads. They have trash. They have paper in there. They have all kinds of things that they stabilize their nest with. And we're just going to add some things in there. And see, it's hanging out a little bit. That's okay. It can hang out. Even push that in a little bit right here. And then our little bird is going to sit in the middle right here on our little nest. But we need to fluff it up a little bit. We can take some more threads and put them in there, or we can take a little bit of moss. And I'm going to take a little bit of moss. I'm going to take a little bit of this moss and stick some moss in there for our bird. That way our bird is a little bit more elevated. And add another glue stick in here. Ooh, that was hot. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to hold this in a little bit more. See how our nest is growing? So we have a strong foundation. We have a secure nest, a fluffed up nest, a warm nest. And I'm gonna cut this a little bit. Yep, I think that'll look good. What you guys think? Have him sitting in the nest like that? I'm just going to hold him a little bit. Our little guy hanging in there in the little nest. And if that is too spriggy for you, you can just give it a haircut. We can add some more moss right there. Looks like it could use just a little bit hanging out right here. That is cute. So we've got things woven in there, and you know the Lord says if you have 3 strands woven together, they're stronger than one. So there we have our little nest. You can add a little egg if you want to. I kind of like our little nest. And little mama is going to sit down here, keeping an eye on the little baby. And now we're going to add the seeds. I'm going to make a little bit of seeds. And do it the right side up, Anne. And again, I am just going to hold it. Where's my brush? Right here. It is a cozy little home. Yes, they do work hard to make their little nests. They weave in all kinds of things, and they do work really hard to get it just right so that it is safe from predators, safe for their little babies. You know, I forgot to distress the little bird before I set him on there. So this might not be distressed. It might just stay the way it is. But I just like the symbolism of it being a strong foundation to build on with a secure nest. You know, the nest hugs the bird just like the Lord has us in his hand. He shelters us. He supports us. If we build on the Lord, we have a strong foundation. And there's our seeds. Whoop. Close this back up. And we are going to make a little bow. Let me get my little bow maker out. I've got all of these materials to make our little bow with. This one came from and you can also put twine in your nest because you know they use twine. This fabric came from Jubilee Fabrics, and I want to let it hang down a little bit on our little spring, so I want it at least to hang at least this long out. And this homespun fabric from Jubilee Fabrics is wonderful because it is double-sided. Homespun is double-sided, so I think that'll be big enough. And I have music in here because birds chirp. So they chirp, they sing. So we've got to have some music notes in here. The music notes is only single-sided, it's not double-sided, so you have to manipulate that a little bit. But I'm okay if it is not completely aligned. I don't fuss about that. It is the way it is, and it'll all work out in the end. And then we go to the next fabric. And I have these in different lengths, in different, what you want to call it, thicknesses. This is the one-sided fabric that I cut off of something. I can't even remember what it was on. And I'm okay if all the loops are not the same and if all the strands hanging down are not the same. That does not bother me. This one is curling up on me. We'll cut it later to where we need it to be. Going to add another green one. The reason why I chose the green one is we got a little bit of green grass in there, and it has that little blue stripe in there. This one is curling up on me, which is fine. I have to make it this way. I don't have enough to do 2 loops. I only can do 1 loop. So I'm going to make these loops a little bit bigger. I'm going to put some Osnaburg in there. I think 4 loops is good enough, so I can cut this. And I'm going to do one more of the music notes. I love the music notes and the birds. I just think that is the perfect combination. I think we have enough in here. I don't want to do too much. Well, turn it around and tie it on the back. If I can find my other one. Sometimes my own two fingers get in the way. Does that ever happen to you? And remember, I did link all the stencils we've used. And I appreciate you commenting and the hearts and all the things. I sometimes just hold these and literally fluff it out. And you just mess with your bow and put it to where you want all your loops to be. This one literally twisted on me. There's the notebook. I keep calling it notebook. Notes one, the musical notes. I'm just gonna trim it. We have some shorter ones, some longer ones. And when they fray, I even love that more because I love that frayed look. I'll move the tails down. My tail is way up here. Let's see if we can tie this on here. Yep, that will look good right there. I just got to get it through here and tie it. Give me just a second. Sometimes I can get into my own way. Once we have it tied, we can add a dot of glue so it won't move, or we can leave it mobile. And that way we can always move it to where we want it to be. Let's cut these a little bit shorter. Now that we have it on here, we'll see where it is falling. Let's see. Really wanted seeds to be on the other side, so let's see if I can scoot our bow over a little bit. I just added it around the spring. Well, some glue had fallen down and got under my finger. I just added it to the spring right here and glued it right here onto the spring itself. Let's get all this riffraff out of the way. And then Mama Bird can sit here. And there's Baby Bird and Mama Bird. Not sure. Can you guys see that pretty good? I think I did my bird's nest backwards. I think that is my front. Well, good thing we didn't glue nothing down, right? See, we can manipulate. And this we can scoot over. I like it better on this side. That looks better to me. I think the nest looks better that way, and I can undo this and have it hanging over that way. What you guys think? Does it look better this way? I like it better this way. I'm trying to get this out. I'm telling you, sometimes my fingers do not want to cooperate. There we go, I got it. You like it better on this side? I think it looks better on that side. And then I can manipulate this. And there's our little Mama and Baby Bird. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. And don't throw away your threads. You can always use it to make a nest. And I will fix all this up and make it look better when I take pictures. Oh, we can also add a star or a heart in the middle of our bow to put, to add like a little bit of extra embellishment in the middle right here. So, would you do a heart or would you do a star on the bow? Appreciate you guys hanging out here. I know I'm running a little late, but let's read our blessings out of our blessing box. It is out of Colossians 3:14. And it is, and above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. And above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Colossians 3:14. And that's what this is about. It's about love. The mama bird making a nest on a good foundation with warmth and security to bring love to her little babies. Plant smiles, grow laughter, harvest love. Seeds, birds, planting love, harvesting, planting smiles, growing laughter, and harvesting love. That's what this was about growing, about seeds, about renewal, about spring. And I pray that you've learned a little something. I pray that you enjoyed it today, and that this little bird nest will remind you of how much the Lord loves you, and that out of a little seed grows a big, wonderful plant that will produce for us, for the birds, seeds and feed and nourishment and growth and love. You guys have a blessed evening. I will see you on Thursday at 6:30 Eastern. Thank you, ladies, so much. A rusty star, yes. I've got a little bit. I see. I've got a little rusty safety pin. Oh my gosh, I can't think. And I got a little rusty bell that I was going to put on there, but I got so excited about everything that sorry, I get excited and get carried away. And I was going to distress all of this. Well, I do that on my own time. Sorry. I get so excited about something and it just blesses my heart to share these things with you, and I just get carried away. So you guys be blessed. Have a wonderful evening. Hop over to Essential Stencil and see what Melissa Miller is creating this evening, and I will see you on Thursday. Be blessed. Have a good evening, and I am going to turn you down so you can see this beautiful thing, and then I'll turn my phone off. Thank you so much.